Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Richard Paul, a Senior Account Manager here at GreenRoad, and I'm really pleased to be joined today by our Chief Operating Officer, Yali Harari. We're here to talk about AskMila, our new conversational AI assistant that we believe marks a real shift from reacting to risks to predicting and preventing them with confidence. So over the next 35 minutes, we're going to explore what AskMila actually does, why it matters so much, and how it's helping fleet managers make quicker, smarter decisions that truly impact safety outcomes. So Yali, let's get started.
Hi, everyone. I'm Yali Harari, and as Richard said, I'm the COO of GreenRoad, and super excited to launch Mila and tell you more about it. This is a result of research we've done in the GreenRoad Lab and is now ready for production into the market of driver behavior and fleet safety management.
Okay, thanks, Yali. So first question, what led to the creation of AskMila, and what were the challenges that you saw in how safety is currently being handled?
So as you know, we've been in this business for 2 decades, and we've been talking to a lot of safety managers. Safety is often managed in a reactive way, spotting issues after they occur. There is so much data and not always enough clarity on the time you need it. We saw safety managers overwhelmed, not by lack of information, but by too much of it. Not because they don't have experience, because they have so much experience and they want to identify everything and make sure that how they will prevent future events is really solid. AskMila closes this gap instantly. We wanted to simplify things and give the safety managers a tool that removes the legwork and makes it easier to act and let their experience be focused on decision-making than just seeing and looking for data.
I mean, we've obviously been working together for a while now, and in some of our previous conversations, you've described AskMila as the first AI assistant built for fleet safety leaders. Can you explain what that actually means in practical terms?
So AskMila is indeed the first AI assistant built for fleet safety leaders. She understands safety, she understands the terminologies, the scoring, the behaviors, patterns, etc. She works like a knowledgeable colleague. You just ask your question in plain English, type it. You're not clicking through filters and dashboards and Excels and downloading different files. You're having a conversation. It responds fast with clear, relevant insights, helping you as a safety manager act without needing to dig more into raw data. She explores the data, your data, and gives you what are the trends and abnormal behaviors you need to know about. It's like you had a person who understands you. You know, you come into the office, they know what you need, they know your safety profession, and they have time to do it while you have to handle so many more things in a day. And this assistant provides you the data proactively. You can ask questions, you can get pushed insights you choose.
It's clear that, like AskMila is really making a shift from a reactive approach to very much proactive. Can you unpack what that actually means in safety context?
Yes. So traditionally, as safety leaders, we hope things won't go wrong. We always prepare for that, but we hope it won't happen. But then when they do happen, we want to the best of our ability, understand what happened and have a quick, solid plan how to prevent this type of incident from happening. And AskMila helps you to get ahead of the risks. Instead of just acting post-incident, you can ask Mila to predict what risks are about to happen, what abnormal behaviors and patterns of driving are out there that weren't before, highlighting for you concerns before they become problems. For example, you can ask Mila who might have an incident next week and why, and the system will give you its thoughts about it. This is very helpful to intervene before accidents happen. Mila supports a more proactive and preventive approach without asking the safety manager to have more time in a day, more hours to figure out what might happen. No, just by asking, Mila will do the legwork. So you're not waiting for a red flag, you're seeing early warning signs and acting before issues escalate.
So as you've said, Mila obviously flags what needs attention, suggests the next best steps, and creates coaching plans. Can you share a real example of AskMila in action where something maybe unexpected surfaced or changed a decision?
Sure. So that's a good time to jump into the demo and show you the Mila interface and the ease of use. There we are. And we can start with a question around micro sleeping, okay? Who is the driver with the most micro sleeping or closing eyes events in my fleet today, last week, whatever we want to ask? And what happens now is that AskMila is going into the customer's data and looking for all those closing eyes events and seeing the best answer for this question. So Mila just answered, and she found the driver that the last 7 days had the most micro sleep eyes closing events. Now you asked Richard, how does that impact my plans? I'll have to have a conversation with him as a safety manager, that's obvious. But now I want to know a bit more because I'm worried. I want to know a list of drivers who had closing eyes events and a braking or a harsh braking event right afterwards. I want to understand what's the impact of the micro sleep. And I want to understand where is it happening and what should I do about it as a safety manager. So this is where, maybe I will do more coaching. Maybe I will look at those sequence of events and talk to them with drivers, which before, if I didn't know the spread of the phenomena, I cannot do. So here, Mila got us the answer. There's a list of drivers who not just had closing eyes events, but followed by a braking event, which means the impact of the micro sleep was more harsh. And then we can ask and talk to all of those people, get them into a room and re-explain what happened. This is also very helpful for drivers because now they understand that it's not just someone telling them you're too tired. It's someone telling them you're too tired and you almost had a something. And after this question, what we will see safety managers do after this question and answer, they go and ask, okay, Mila, just tell me what are a sequence of events that have increased risk in my fleet? And instead of safety managers saying, give me closing eyes, and then give me closing eyes with braking events, which is totally sensible, let's just see what's going on with my fleet. And AskMila will give you that as well. So if you're building and stretching AskMila to answer more questions and open-ended ones, you will get a lot more insight that will impact your coaching plans, not just who you talk to, but what you talk to them about. The next and last example I want to show you is defined as an industry game changer by some of our customers. Which driver is most likely to have an incident this week? This is a question that AskMila can answer. It can look at the risk score, at abnormal behaviors, at new patterns of all the drivers, and understand what are the small changes that are very important. They don't show up as a red score yet, but they might be harmful and create an incident. So although the query returned too much data for the first time, AskMila went and refined its algorithms to understand better and got us a list of people that are prone to have an incident next week. These are life-changing predictions. As a safety manager, go talk to those people and prevent events. So Richard, hopefully those are good examples of things, you don't know until you don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. I mean, a lot of fleet managers tell us that they've obviously got plenty of data, but they really struggle to know what to do with it. How does Mila help bridge that gap?
Because we have on a bus or on any vehicle a lot of sensors and a lot of sources of information, it really is a data overwhelmed situation. Mila will filter that. It will flag what needs attention. It will suggest the best next steps and even create coaching plans. It's about clarity. It takes away the complexity, if you'd like. Think of it as a recommendation engine for safety. It doesn't just show what happened. It tells you what might happen and tell you what you might consider to do next with precision. On the left, what you can see is that we have a history of all the questions someone asked, as well as the ability up to decide favorite topics. So if you go to a conversation, you got really valuable information and you want to have that question asked again next week and maybe in every week, then you have it under favorites and you can pre-schedule those questions. So you can also ask Mila to be proactive and give you the answers you already like, but on different times with different data. Obviously, you can ask about any safety event that worries you as a safety manager. You can ask about video safety events or whatever is there for you. She understands your data and she understands your plans and she can bring them together and give you suggestions. So if you can see that some people are driving at night and there's a big difference between driving for them at night than driving in a day, you can see that certain routes now are creating a lot of more safety events. You can figure out some vehicles are being, driven differently. All of those things are data points that the safety manager already has. But if he knew, to compare all the options and understand what's the best safety route for specific drivers and the best hours and implement that into the work plan, that could be something very helpful. If you don't know it, you don't know to fix it. So even if you had, for example, a lot of training plans, okay, you do them all the time in different depots for new drivers, for existing drivers, because something happened. How do you really know if they, impacted what you wanted them to do? How do you know if that training program was relevant? Was there something else you could have talked about? Was it impactful enough? All of those things just for the coaching can be asked the system and it will answer to tell us, how we could do better.
What type of data is AskMila actually using behind the scenes?
So the system taps into the full GreenRoad ecosystem, telematics via the edge or the mobile, safety scores, historical trips, driving coaching logs, routes, and more. It combines everything into one place, as you all know, you have this data, but it does it seamlessly. For each customer, AskMila uses their data only. And unlike other systems, we don't use customer data for training. We've trained Mila to be a safety expert, but we're not training Mila on your data. This is important for any AI system that you implement, and I think customers should know that point with our solution.
And my understanding is that Mila also offers predictive insight, as you've mentioned, but how does it actually do that?
So AskMila goes into the data and looks at patterns in driving behavior, trip history, and events. It will understand the smallest to the biggest change and helping to predict where risks might emerge. Risks are not just accidents, they can be other things. While it doesn't coach drivers in real time, as our in-cab solutions does, and it equips you, the safety manager, with insights to act early and assign the right intervention before incidents happen. Mila is a tool for managers, and our in-cab solutions are, of course, the real-time coaching for drivers.
It's excellent that we've got those two different approaches that complement each other. And just going back to those coaching plans that you mentioned earlier, how do those work in practice?
AskMila suggests and generates personalized coaching plans for the safety manager based on the performance trends and the safety events of the specific driver or organizational unit. These are available for the manager to review, and managers don't have to start from scratch. They don't have to waste time just looking into data from different places, downloading it into different Excels and figuring it out. And then they have less time to talk to the driver. They're getting something to go, data-driven, prioritized, and they can decide very quickly what they want to focus on. So this helps safety managers have more time to talk with the drivers as they got the drafts quickly and didn't have to waste time on it.
I'm sure lots of our customers would be very keen to get their hands on this. I know that I am as well. But how easy is AskMila to actually get started with? What's involved in setting it up?
It's very straightforward. It's integrated into the GreenRoad Central that all of our customers use every day. You begin in minutes. You get the interface from Central. You click on AskMila. You can start asking questions. You'll have prompted questions. We have some guides who recommend how to converse with a new technology. And if you can ask a question and type, you can use Mila.
I know that some of our customers have been helping us out as early adopters. And what kind of results have they seen so far?
So what I'm hearing is that it's a lot about time saved, smarter prioritization within a day. You know, what should I do now? Who should I talk to? And earlier risk detection, which is last but definitely not least. What we're seeing is managers shifting from chasing reports and data to making more confident, proactive decisions, having a lot more time to coach the drivers and deal with life-saving issues than to just be in the data and, you know, getting all of that ready for them.
Okay, so for anybody who's already using GreenRoad Central, and we've got many customers that have been using it for years, and they're very familiar with it, they may ask, why do I need AskMila?
So it's a great question. GreenRoad Central is our main application for using the GreenRoad data. GreenRoad Central is your data powerhouse. It holds everything, but most safety managers taps in a small fraction of it. AskMila does not replace Central, where you administer everything. It unlocks it to its full potential. Instead of just using 20% of what the data can give you, Mila helps you access the other 80% with ease. It is the difference between reading the data and having a personal expert in safety walk you through exactly what matters and ensuring that you don't miss anything that is hiding there with all those columns and reports, etc.
So it seems that AskMila is a real game changer and is the future of fleet safety. But what do you feel will be next?
Well, I think more proactive features, automated alerts on things that might go wrong, action recommendation, integration with other external data sources. We want it to become a daily tool where you can get things done quickly and uncover trends and risks you didn't know that are out there. You cannot act on something you don't know exists. So we are here to allow more features in Mila that tells you everything that's going on, so you can just take the professional action with your experience.
Okay, and how does this kind of fit in and what does it tell us about GreenRoad's overall direction moving forward?
So it really aligns with our core mission to make fleet safety simpler, predictive, and easy to manage by understanding and improving driving behavior. As the only company who has 20 years of driving behavior data and experience, Mila is the natural next step to helping our customers do more as they have less and less time.
Thank you, Ali, and thanks to everyone for joining today. AskMila, as you've seen and heard, is a fantastic example of how AI can make safety management both smarter and more straightforward for those who use it. If you'd like to take a closer look or would like to try it out for yourself, then please do get in touch with your GreenRoad contact. We've got around 10 minutes left, so let's open up the floor to your questions, and please drop them in the chat and we'll answer as many as we can. So I see a lot of familiar names in the attendees. So obviously, if you've got any questions, as you say, please contact your regular contact here at GreenRoad if you want to discuss this after the session. But also, I see a lot of new names there as well. So for anyone who doesn't have contact with us already, then please drop us an email at askmila@greenroad.com. So I can see that you've been posting a few questions during the course of this webinar. And let's go to some of those. So first off, how does AskMila work with the mobile app, since there are no cameras or GPS devices actually installed in the vehicle?
So for whoever asked, it's a good question. If you don't have the video sense solution of GreenRoad, then you don't have obviously input or a sensor input of video, but you can ask Mila all the rest of the questions on all the safety events and everything around safety and driving of your fleet. even if it's on mobile. Our mobile app has its own GPS as we have in our mobile devices, and that's where we get the information from. So using with GreenRoad, the edge device, the hardware device, or the mobile app gives you exactly the same data. And then Mila sits on top of Central with that data and can give you the information. We use all the data we have. If we have video, it will include video. If not, it will include other safety events.
Okay, great. Next question is AskMila customizable to our fleet-specific metrics or KPIs?
So each customer can define their KPIs or metrics that they want Mila to know about and to bring it up as an insight or a prediction. There is a very profound teachability model in Mila, and it's per organization and also on the user level. So per organization, it can define the KPIs, what is a compliance violation, what are the bar for 2-3 red events in a night, in a shift. All of those can be brought into Mila for that specific customer, and she will be using her teachability model to know about it. And also on the user level, from how you want Mila to address you by name or nickname. Do you want her to use whatever is good in your country or region in terms of metrics, et cetera, et cetera. So that's per organization or per user.
Okay, excellent. Next one. Can you share any examples of how AskMila has already prevented incidents?
So, if hopefully she did prevent them, so it's not a closed loop. But the way to do it with Mila is the ability to, I would say, dare ask. How is who from my drivers might have an incident next week? Obviously, it's not a sure thing, but what Mila algorithms are doing is they're going and seeing trends that are very maybe, hidden from the human eye because they're small trends of specific drivers who are behaving differently the last few days than they did a week ago or a month ago. And maybe that behavior, they're not aware of it. So Mila will send a list of these drivers might be at risk. With that list, as a safety leader and expert, you go and have a chat with them, which might be all they need to just say, you got me. Yes, I was a little bit off. I was tired. I come out of flu, whatever that is. Because drivers, they're good. They know how to drive. They sometimes just need that mini intervention. So because when something big, God forbid, happens, we all know what to do next. This is where Mila can say, look, I'm sensing a trend. Someone is moving from being an amber driver to a red driver. Maybe he's not even red yet. Or maybe now that he has night shifts or some other piece of data that's correlated to it. And then the safety manager gets a proactive answer from Mila. He can pre-schedule it every day, and he can go and really prevent and save lives.
Wow. Excellent. Another question I think we've had from a couple of people is, where or can I find AskMila in the actual mobile app itself?
So no, Mila is for managers, and in the Drive app, it won't appear for now. We might consider having a mini Mila later on for drivers. If you are a manager and you can see whatever you can see on from your permissions in Central, you'll be able to access Mila from there, just as you would your app.
Okay, excellent. I think we've got time for one or two more questions. So this is a longer one here. Can Mila ingest our company's actual incident data and trends by combining it with such external data to enhance her understanding of GreenRoad data patterns leading up to events? Would this integration improve her prediction algorithms' accuracy in forecasting and preventing future incidents?
Okay, good question. Long indeed. Thank you for whoever asked it. The short answer is yes. We are combining already the GreenRoad data with the ticketing data. We have safety by route algorithms to connect data that is not in GreenRoad, but to bring it into Mila. So there's even more correlations. So the answer is absolutely yes. We also are very precise on any data we bring in. We run tests of understanding if is it meaningful? Does it really improve the correlations and the insights before we just, do a big project and bringing it in. But with the new technologies, it's relatively easy to combine those things. We're looking as well as customer-based data on external sources like changes in routes, weather that are not coming from a customer specifically, but are also going to be combined. This will be probably in Q3, be combined into Mila.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone, because we're nearly out of time. So I'm sorry we don't have time to answer all the questions that everybody's asked in today's session. But if you'd like to ask for a demo or speak to us in more detail, then as I mentioned earlier, please contact your regular contact at GreenRoad or drop an email to askmila@greenroad.com. And I'd like to say thank you very much, Yali, and thank you everybody else for attending today's session.
Thanks, everyone. Talk soon.